Good morning, YouTube. This is Yusuf, and you are watching my news channel. Space weather conditions for today. Let's take a look at the busy component in red, which is neutral to slightly positive. Density in orange remains low, followed by speed in purple, follows the same trend, as well as the temperature in green, which is showing normal values. If we move on, we look at the solar disk. There are absolutely no sunspots whatsoever. KP index is low, which is normal in the quiet space weather conditions. There is, however, a solar wind stream flowing from this coronal hole, which will reach us today. And I will show it to you in the Enlil spiral. So, if we go a little bit backwards, there it is, this spiral will reach us, and you can see the density. The impact is going to be around today at noon. See, it might start, yes, it will start this morning and go all the way to tomorrow. And this is a moderate impact. You see that the colors, the impact itself, it's greenish and almost yellow. So density wise, this is around 15, as you can see. Yeah, it's a decent amount, but nothing to be concerned of. The velocity as well, the velocity will rise just a little bit, but this is really on the low side. It stays in that greenish region, which is 450 kilometers a second. It might be a little higher because, you know, this is only a prediction. So in the end, only when it happens will we know how fast it will be. But I don't expect much of this particular solar wind stream. However, if the BZ component goes negative, we might see some auroral activity. There might also be a slight ramp up in quake activity later on, or tomorrow, Sunday, but this we will see tomorrow. So, oh yes, when I looked at other metrics, I noticed a disturbance in the closed field lines. And the thing that surprised me again is that conveniently the data is missing when it happened. So if we go all the way to, and by the way, this metric doesn't go any further than 2 a.m. in the morning. So when this happens, so this is the beginning of the disturbance. It happened. You can see the opening. It splits up. Then it becomes interesting. No data. So I thought, why not check it on the other metrics? So I moved frame by frame. Now let's go back to, yes, to look at it. And then all of a sudden, there it is. Almost 4 hours missing when things got interesting. That's a shame, really. So let's move on. Quake activity. Whether this is intentional or not, of course, is debatable. But I noticed, I'm talking from experience, whenever something happens, that's actually interesting. The data goes missing conveniently for NASA. And this happens a lot, you know. So whether this is accidental or not, I have my doubts. Yes, if we look, we take the largest magnitude, one day, let's say anything above 2.5, and we see not much going on. The only thing I would say is, of course, as usual, the region we should monitor is this one, the San Andreas Fault in California and in Alaska. To be more precise, let's take 7 days on magnitudes. I would say, as usual, California, this is the San Francisco and Los Angeles. So everything stretching from San Francisco to Los Angeles is at risk in California. This is well known, as well as Anchorage in Alaska. This particular region, and I do believe there is actually a volcano here. Yes, Liamna volcano. I have to check to see which one are actually active in that region, if there are any. But if there is a big quake in the San Andreas Fault, you can expect definitely a big one popping here, because The Pacific side of the tectonic plate moves in one direction, and everything from this side moves in the other direction. So if a big earthquake happens in the San Andreas fault, you can be 100% that here you will have another big quake as well, and it will be centered around Anchorage. So we need to watch that area. Philosophical quote for today. Let me check it out. So I believe this was the last. Yes. Oh yeah. Being defeated is a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. So if you're having a hardship, don't give up, because then your defeat will be permanent. So this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.